All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this meeting called to order. This is the Tuesday, November 1st, 2022 Planning Commission meeting. Can we get a roll call, please?
Alderperson Denham.
Here.
Commissioner Romine. Here. Chairperson O'Day.
Here.
Commissioner Richards. Commissioner Lloyd. Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Groman.
Here.
Commissioner Dieger.
Here.
Commissioner Gore.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great, thanks, Nikki. First item is public comment. This is an opportunity for anybody from the public to come up and speak in regards to anything that is not on the public hearing portion of the agenda. Each person is allowed 5 minutes to speak. We just ask that when you come up that you state your name, address clearly into the microphone, and write it down on the pad in front of you. Is there anybody that'd like to speak?
May I ask a protocol question first? I know you're allowed to speak during the public comments section, but if the public wants to speak during the regular agenda, like I do I do it during public comment now, or do I wait for regular agenda?
You would do it right now.
Right now?
That's
Okay.
my understanding, yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Okay.
The way it normally works at the Alderman meeting, and the way I thought it worked last time, is you have public comment, things that aren't on the agenda, and that when we make and second the motion, then typically they'll let the public speak, and then we speak on each agenda item. They can't talk in any agenda item during public comment during the regular meeting. Is that different for us?
I wouldn't think it's different because we have the same orders. Can we get clarification from the attorney on that?
Okay, Jim, you there?
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes,
We
we
can.
can.
So there are some differences in the rules of order for the Planning and Zoning Commission as opposed to the Board of Aldermen, but this is not one of them. In the public comment section, it is supposed to be comment on matters that aren't on the agenda. On the agenda, it is the same as you typically do. You introduce and go through the measure. You then call the speakers on that particular matter.
Thank you. I stand corrected. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this would be anything outside of the regular agenda or the public hearing.
Well, I'm speaking to regular agenda item number 2.
Okay, so we'll need to wait until we
Okay.
get to that
And-
item.
And will I be able to speak before you take a vote on that agenda item? Okay.
We'll
Yes.
make sure that you do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? You bet. No, thanks, Gary. All right, anybody else from the public wanting for public comment? Seeing none? Okay, we'll go to the first item on the regular agenda, which is the approval of the Planning Commission minutes from the October 4th, 2022 regular meeting.
Make a motion we approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a first from, Commissioner Groman, second from Commissioner Dieger. Is there anybody from, comment from the public in regards to that? Hearing none, seeing none. Any of the commissioners have any questions or concerns, comments? Hearing none, seeing none. We get a roll call vote, please?
Alderperson Denham.
Yes.
Commissioner Romine.
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Groman.
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger.
Yes.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
7 votes yea, motion carried.
Thank you. All right, next thing on the regular agenda is the election of the vice chairperson. This will be a replacement for Commissioner Kathy Stepp that has moved on to our city administrator position. Congratulations to her. First thing, I guess, should we do public comment first in regards to this before we do nominations? I think so, yeah. So anybody from the public that would like to speak in regards to this matter?
Good evening. My name is Cherry Webster. I live at 118 Country Bluff Drive. At last month's P&Z meeting, Chairman O'Day, you were not present, neither was Vice Chairman Stepp, who had been promoted the day before to be our new city administrator. So Commissioner Davis was nominated and elected to chair the meeting for that evening. Tonight's agenda includes an item to elect a new vice chair to hold office until the annual elections next April. Will Commissioner Davis be nominated again to fill that office? Consider Davis's past performance as chairman. Since August of 2021, I have observed the kind of behavior I would not want to see from a member of any board or any commission. For example, the residents that spoke during the public hearings were treated differently. He warmly welcomed to the podium speakers who supported his personal viewpoints, but those who didn't, they got the cold shoulder. And for some, their comments were even berated by the chairman. Several Country Bluff residents came to ask this commission's help from a certain developer who circumvented county and state DNR procedures during an annexation process. That developer, to this day, has been using 2 lots within the Country Bluff subdivision as their stormwater detention pond for the developer's 50-acre parcel. The residents brought proposed changes to the city code and asked the commission to implement those changes so that a repeat performance of past circumventions could not reoccur from yet another property a little farther upstream. Instead of assistance, Chairman Davis rebuked the residents, stating that only the city attorney and director of planning were capable of making any code changes.
I apologize for that.
No problem. I repeat, instead of assistance, Chairman Davis rebuked the residents, stating that the only city attorney and director of planning were capable of making any code changes. Well, where are those 2 illustrious leaders now? For that same developer, they facilitated an illegal zoning by way of annexation plan of intent, bypassing the state-required P&Z hearing process. In the documenting of their actions, their seats got so hot they left city employment. As citizens, are we not competent to suggest code? How did the delineation of the process to remove a P&Z chairman or vice chairman from office come to be added to the recently revised city code? It was a citizen's suggestion. This past February, again as chairman, Davis asked the former city administrator to remove Alderman Denham from the P&Z Commission. In doing so, he demonstrated how to ignore the Board of Aldermen's public hearing procedures, the same procedures Davis himself enforced at P&Z hearings. Davis refused to speak at the time of the agenda item assigned to his removal request. Instead, he and his neighbor decided it was okay to circumvent procedure and speak during the public comment period. The 2 then exited the building and left Alderman Skanes to pull his parliamentary tactic of call the question so as to eliminate any other discussion on his removal request. Mr. Davis is a detriment to the public hearing and public comment process. What city resident would want the level of integrity of this behavior to even be on this commission, let alone serve as its vice chair? And a commissioner that would nominate or vote for Davis to fill this office would be giving tacit approval to such egregious actions. What would that say about the integrity of those commissioners? Please, represent the city's 12,000-plus residents as you fill this vacant office. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing public comments.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak on this item? Hearing none, Chair would entertain nominations to fill the vacant vice chairman position of Planning and Zoning.
I would like to nominate Mr. Groman.
Okay. Mr. Groman, would you accept that nomination?
Sure would.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, seeing none? I don't know that there's necessary for us to do a card vote here. Why don't we just do a roll call vote for Commissioner Groman to become vice chair?
Okay. Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Romine?
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Groman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Gore?
Yes.
Okay. 8 votes yay. Motion carried.
Okay, great. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Can we also put in the minutes notes that Commissioner Davis arrived at 6:08?
Yes, we've got him.
All right, thank you. All right, next thing on the agenda is the public hearing. This is a request for a special use permit for recreation and entertainment outdoor for Santa Adventureland located at 3125 Green Mountain Drive, Branson, Missouri. Before we can hear staff report, we need to get this brought on the table. I would entertain a first and a second, please.
First.
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Dieger, second by newly elected Vice Chair Groman.
Okay, good evening. Jennifer Thompson, staff planner. So we've had an application received from Mr. Eddie Grant requesting approval for a special use permit in the land use category of recreation and entertainment outdoor. The proposed business is called Santa's Adventureland, and it's to be located at 3125 Green Mountain Drive, which you can see in the picture, it's the former site of the Mount Pleasant Winery. So Santa Adventureland / Jurassic Land is a family-owned business whose concept is based on various seasonal events and activities. But the need for the special event use permit is based on the proposed outdoor activities that they have proposed for this proposal. So those things include, they're gonna have a live nativity scenes, pony and camel rides, an area for live reindeer with photo opportunities, and then an artificial snow play area. So we'll go through some maps here to show you the location of the site. Again, it's at 3125 Green Mountain Drive, the west part of town, just east of 165. A little bit closer, you can see 165 to the west and 76 to the north. Here are some more aerials, views from the north and the south, the east and the west. So the current zoning of this property is community commercial, which does allow for the interior commercial operation that is proposed. Oops. And here's a section of our ordinance that defines that use of recreation and entertainment outdoor. And then just a snippet of our special use permit table that notes that that's required in the CC zoning district. This is our language from the ordinance in case we need to reference that tonight for any reason. So we've got a few different site plans that have been submitted. All are the same, it's just more, or each one has different details associated with it. So on this one, you can tell where Green Mountain Drive is, and the existing building, they're not doing anything to the exterior of the building besides, additional signage and some Christmas trees and stuff like that. But let me see if I can get this pointer. Which one's the pointer? Oh, all right, I had it upside down. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here's the building, here's Green Mountain Drive, and you come in this way and swing all the way around that way. Right here is the camel and pony rides that's proposed. Right here is the snow play area, the artificial snow play area. This would be the reindeer area, and the entry is located right here. And this site plan shows more of the interior activities that are proposed. So as part of the Santa Adventureland, he also has the Jurassic Land. So he's got some animatronic dinosaurs exhibits, fossil dig area, dino lab. You got your ticket booth, a dino museum, and then on the other half, he's got his Santa Adventureland, which includes things like the Elf University and Workshop, cookies with Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and then as you can see on the outdoor area, there's the reindeer and the snow activity place. So this site plan just shows a little bit more detail in terms of some dimensions and setbacks from the right-of-way, Green Mountain Drive, and just within the site. So this information was provided by the applicant, and it has to do with the animal maintenance. And so for the camel and nativity scene, there's going to be a 4-foot no-climb fencing with panels and a gate and some hay bales to kind of keep the camels corralled. The reindeer area, there's a 5-foot no-climb panels with fencing, and it was noted that guests will not be allowed to enter the reindeer area. They can just look from the outside and take pictures. So all the animal activities will be monitored by staff and a USDA licensed person, the United States Department of Agriculture. And all animals will be housed off-premise and removed every night. And all the waste will be removed from the premises daily and disposed of at the farm, ranch, where the animals are housed. So Mr. Grant, to my knowledge, he's USDA licensed. He's working through, if not already has obtained, state of Missouri permits and Taney County permits, and he will be obtaining the city permits as well. I talked to Animal Code Division, and there is a animal permit that he'll have to get from the city of Branson. They go out and do an inspection and look at the property, look at the containment area. I think even the health records of the animals as well. I keep going backwards, I don't know why. Here's a copy of the notice of the public hearing that was sent out to the to the property owners. So if the Planning Commission is supportive of staff's recommendation, we have 4 conditions of approval. So the first one is just speaking to that all construction activities covered by this special use shall conform to all the codes and ordinances of the city of Branson. They'll have to get a city business license and stay in good standing with that. All activities related to animals shall be in compliance with Branson Municipal Code, Chapter 14, Animals. And then the last one is, if all the conditions of this resolution authorizing the issuance of this special use permit are not acted upon on or before November 1st, 2023, this special use permit shall be null and void. So with that, staff recommends approval, and we're happy to answer questions, and Mr. Grant is here as well to answer any questions. But I think we have a short little commercial/video that Chad's going to try to play. Okay.
Dinosaurs, but don't be afraid. We're a family-owned. Shh, I'm hiding out from all the dinosaurs, but don't be afraid. We're a family-owned company, and we can't wait for you to come and make your family memories with us. This is your guide, Gigi, and she is going to take you on your adventure today.
Hello, explorers. We're going to start off our adventure right here in the Mystery Dig, where you can find a whole bunch of different things. And here you might find a fossil. You might even see something inside. All right, explorers, on the next stage of our adventure, we get to ride a dinosaur. Uh-oh! Whoa, boy! Now you get to meet our pet dinosaur. He looks very scary, but he's very sweet. Let's say hi to something a little bit smaller. This is our pet emu.
great. Would the applicant mind coming up and telling us a little bit about what you guys are planning on doing? I know you guys have some in a couple of different areas throughout the United States, so just give us a little synopsis of.
Yes. James Eddie Grant, 3824 Northwest 32nd Street, Newcastle, Oklahoma, 73065. So we have Adventureland, Texas, Denton, and Fort Worth. Basically, it's a family activity. During November and December, we do Sand Adventureland. We do Jurassic Land year-round, but during the months of November and December, we bring in and change it up and do a Sand Adventureland where children's come in during that. They'll attend, and families. It's actually was created for kids, but we have just as many people without kids come in and do the stuff as we do families with kids, just about. So it's all interactive, hands-on. We have a lot of sensory stuff for children with all kinds of special needs developments. So my background is actually childcare. I'm one of the larger childcare providers in the state of Oklahoma. So years ago, trying to find stuff for kids, watching the parents, I've been doing it for over 20-something years, watching parents try to find stuff for kids or stuff for bigger kids, adults, but not a lot for whole families and other parts. So we started talking to the kids and saying, hey, what would you want? So we kind of created this where they come in and they attend Elf University. They learn how to be an elf. They learn how to build toys with elves. So they get to build their own toys and take them out. They go in and decorate cookies with Mrs. Claus, take pictures with Santa Claus. They write a letter to Santa while they're there, and before they leave, Santa will give them a personalized reply. Before they walk out, they'll have their letter back from Santa. We have a snow playroom area, which we use the snow it's used in a lot of parks like over in Saudi Arabia, Japan, where they don't have a lot of snow. So for indoor snow parks, so it's really neat stuff. It's non-toxic. It's really unusual stuff. They actually created it for the Winter Olympics in Japan back in I believe it was the 80s. So whatever temperature water we mix it with, it expands into make snow, and they can have snowball fights and make snow angels and that kind of stuff. So we have the different areas for that. They get to meet reindeer and stuff like that, and everybody's dressed as elves, and of course Mrs. Claus, Mr. Claus, all that stuff. And then we have all kinds of different games kids and families play, like reindeer race. We have these reindeers that they can put on. They have a race track on a table, kind of like you go to a little carnival place inside. And then the other side is Jurassic Land, which is kind of the same concept where kids come in, and families, they want to learn about dinosaurs. They get to take fossils and take their microscope and look at fossils. They go into the dino lab and they do experiments with them in there with our lab guy, which is a really simple experiments, things like where we have this test tube and they'll it's colored water actually, but they'll choose a different beaker that has the colored water, and the little grow animals that you see in the little, they'll pick that out and they'll put it in their test tube and add their water and watch it grow and take it home. Different things like that. When they leave, they get to be they go to Dino University, so they'll get a little license saying that they've qualified to be a dino. They'll fill out a resume just like we would as an adult. The kids will fill out a resume before they go in and go through all that. Trying to teach kids basics, trying to teach things what life is. They'll get to build their toys. It's all hands-on. Then they go in the big room in the back where we have we have about 30 animatronic lifelike dinosaurs that breathe, wink, holler, scream, wag their tails, move their arms, that kids can go in and touch and walk through and take pictures with, and we have the ride that they can go in there and ride. Outdoors, for November, December, we're wanting to do the nativity, which is, it's going to be really small. It's only going to be a few animals that they can come up and pet. Llama, couple baby calves, mini donkey, so very basic. We've done this in Texas at the Golden Triangle Mall. We've been doing that out there with the camel rides and all that stuff. we're USDA, so they are very strict. We have strict requirements for the health of our animals, all that kind of stuff. My daughter, which runs with the USDA, she's the youngest person to ever be licensed by the USDA. So, I'm proud of her for that. She is my animal whisperer, you might say. So she can talk to anything in the world. So basically, all the camels, everybody there, it's all USDA. We'll actually have 2 USDA licenses on the premises. We have ours, and then our camel people, they're from Missouri, so they'll come out from Grant City, and they have their own USDA license. All the animals are TB, brucellosis. We have to go through all these checks and all these health. We are waiting. Sarah Rittenhouse, the head veterinarian for the state of Missouri, they're working on our permit. We should have it tomorrow to import the animals in across state lines because they've cleared all the health paperwork, all the checks, all that stuff. They'll come out and inspect us. We do a lot of inspections in Oklahoma because we're in Oklahoma at our facilities. We get game warden inspections every year. We get the state of Oklahoma Cervid inspections every year because of the CWD. That's why we'll actually have taller fences in the reindeer. It'll actually be all the way up to there's a couple of porticos on the side of the building. I don't know if you've been there, but those will actually have the bull wire that goes all the way up to the top. And then outside that, we'll have another fence just because we worked hard to get our CWD license. It took 5 years. I don't know if some of y'all know that's the chronic wasting disease. And you can't have another wild deer come up and touch your deer, which is not probably going to happen, so we'll put another fence out about 3 foot so people can get close, but they can't get in their touch, and we don't have to worry about, which it wouldn't happen, but we just know that we're protected if a wild deer comes up out of the creek, and comes up and wants to touch noses, So, but everything's monitored. I'm actually bringing quite a bit of the staff that's been with me for a long time. Some have been with me, goes back 15 years. They'll be coming up. We've rented cabins for them all. So they'll be staying here to get this first year up and going. Then we changed Halloween, we do a great pumpkin thing, and everything kind of changes over that. There's not a lot to do in Branson when it comes to the Halloween. So, and once again, it's catered to children, catered to families, and all that. And then we flip back to Christmas.
Great.
The waste will be removed every day. Waste will be put in locking lid trash cans, airtight trash cans. They'll have baggies in them at the end of each night. Those trash bags will be loaded up. We're keeping the animals at Power Site and Forsyth, and all that is where they're going. We have to turn all that into the USDA. That's part of our application, and the state will have that. That's all on our application. So we will dispose of it over on the land, on the farms and stuff. And as soon as we're very touchy because we want clean, so if any animal does any droppings, there's a person right there with a rake, a shovel, to pick it up, get it out of the way, and all that stuff. The last thing we want is a parent to say, my kid stepped in camel poo-poo, and all that. So, and we also don't want people picking it up to come smoke it. There's something you probably never heard. Yes. Yes, so night, once we close, the animals travel, they load up and go out there with us at the 2 different places. We are very touchy on the animals. We let the animals, people say, well, they're animals, but animals choose if they like to work. They're like a human. They have their soul holes, and there's animals that don't want to work, and there's animals that get excited and want to jump in the trailer and let's go do my day. So we kind of watch that and kind of play with, that. And, if we're having an issue with the animal, it doesn't come. If Rich is saying, I don't want to do nothing, I don't want to get up, it won't come out. So we have our safe place for our animals, just like we at the child care centers, we have our safe place for our children.
Okay, great. Sounds really exciting. Okay, any of the commissioners have any questions for staff or the applicant? Vice Chair Groman?
Do you envision that the people coming will come in small groups and families at different times? There won't be a big exit at any one time like we have for some of our shows?
I would, this is a whole new genre for us coming to Branson. So anything I would say would be just an assumption on my part. What we find out in like a Denton and stuff, the afternoons is when that 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock period is really when we get a lot of rush in that time period. We don't get a lot of rush at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. Parents are putting their kids to bed. But 5 o'clock, that's when mom's been waiting for dad to get off work or whatever. But this is a turret. They're here for that. So we can only handle inside that building 295 people at any given time. The building's about 11,000 a little over 10,000 square feet. We just went through all the reclassifications with architect. So, and that's throughout the whole facility. We have 50 parking spaces.
So there won't be any mass exit at any one time like there is from Dixie Stampede
no.
or a show out to Green Mountain Drive. That's what I'm getting at.
No.
I'm sorry.
I apologize, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's all right.
I understand the question. No. We have people that come and do this, and like I say, we can just go off what all our past histories have been. Some people will spend 1 hour, some people spend 4 hours. So there's only one room that has a 20-minute time, and that's the university room and the workshop. The rest, but they can go do all the other activities and stuff, and it's just however they want to find their time.
So it's a come and go.
It's a come and go.
Not a time ticket.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Will the animals be at all your different, I'm going to call them seasonal events, as I was looking at your schedule, you have different seasonal events. Will the camels and pony rides be there for all of them? Or how will that work?
No, we'll probably look at, we want them to make sense. We just don't want to put them out there because I'm not interested in trying to go gouge people or do anything like that. So we want it to make sense. We want it to be affordable. So we're looking at the Easter time. Camels nativity makes sense. Doesn't make sense for Halloween. Halloween won't have any animals, because that's more of let's get our pumpkins, let's decorate our pumpkins. Let's do that kind of stuff.
And during the summer?
During summer, not really plan on, we have a pet tortoise. I don't know if you saw it. It's a big pet tortoise that's inside that my girls have asked if possibly bring that, if we have to get permitted for that and all that stuff, but we haven't even called on that. But no, there's not going to be, like you saw in the emus in there, that's at our Texas thing. We don't have the area because they have to be inside. So we don't have the facility for that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Davis?
I have a question for staff and a question for Eddie. Jennifer, Mike, on this current property, are there any existing overlays, such as a special use permit that was permitted for the property years ago?
I'm not aware of any, sir.
Would you check that, please?
Sure.
And then Eddie, tell me a little bit about the safety concerns around the snow activity.
Okay, so basically, the snow activity, so we have, it's a area, we have multiple areas for that area because we want it by age. We have a lot of adults that want to come in with their boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands, wife. They want to have their fight to kind of say, here, I was mad at you last night. So we have the older area that is for basically, and it is 8 foot by 20 foot long, okay? And that's just because it's really just for, let's play the snow, let's don't get crazy. And what we do is, how we protect everything is, first of all, to keep it from going in the storm, we have a 12-inch railing all the way around it. So you step over into it. Underneath that, we have a tarp. But underneath the tarp, we have 1-inch rubber matting. Because I'm always, being the child care, I'm scared somebody's going to slip and fall and all that stuff. On top of that rubber matting, we lay a artificial carpet, and that holds everything into place. It's just the white artificial type grass carpet and all that stuff. And then right outside, we put kind of like we use in our horse trailers, some mats right outside, so when they step off, they can make sure everything's off their foot right there. We have somebody that'll be stationed there. They sweep it and end up putting it in the trash and all that stuff. So
No sliding or sledding?
Oh, no, there's not going to be. That's the biggest area. Then the next area that goes right next to it is for littler kids, and it is 8 by 8. So, and it's not, for that, so. And then the snowballs, they can make their snowballs. It's, this stuff really, the temperature of the water we use is what the temperature it kind of maintains. And to get a snowball, we got to kind of get it down in that 30-degree, which is not going to last. So we actually have cotton. I don't know if you saw the snowballs that you can still throw and still do, but it doesn't. And then we have on the back side, on the three sides, we've got see-through. We're putting up see-through, kind of like almost like a privacy fence, but you can still see through it, netting, just to make sure that nothing's going on the sides. This is one way in, one way out, and kind of control it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Commissioner Roman?
What is your anticipated opening
It's November 4th.
in 3 days?
In 3 days, yes. That's our anticipated. We were going to try to do a soft opening.
Any other commissioners have any questions or comments?
I just wanted to say thank you for bringing family fun into the area, because we really support that here, and it sounds exciting and fun to me, too. I want to come and visit and bring my grandkids.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we were invited to come down to Tanger and do it, but they wanted us outside. And then when we came to town, we said, we've been coming here for years. Why haven't we just done it? And all that stuff. And so we said that was our, didn't and all that. We learned what to watch out. We learned what we could use, what we didn't use. Because like you said on the snow, we had to learn, we first opened, we didn't have mats underneath. And it didn't take me till the second day to say, that's got to be fixed, so.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Anybody from the public that would like to speak on this agenda item? Hearing none, seeing none. We've got a first and a second, so can we do a roll call vote, please, Nikki?
Absolutely. Alderperson Denham?
Yes.
Commissioner Romine?
Yes?
Chairperson O'Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Vice Chair Groman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Gore?
Yes.
8 votes yea, motion carried.
Congratulations. Look forward to coming and seeing it. All right, next item on the agenda is the reports. We do get to hear from Mike today.
You didn't get out of speaking to me today, so. Couple things I wanted to highlight. The clerk's office sent out a notice that the application for the following openings they're already open was Monday, 10/24, and they close on Monday, 11/7. Applications are available at the city's website or at the clerk's office. You can walk in. So we have Board of Appeals. There's one opening, term expiring April 2027. Industrial Development Authority, one opening, term expires December 2028. Planning Commission, one opening, term expiring April of 2025. So I wanted to highlight that those positions are open for anybody that's listening online, or if y'all have some friends that you would like to bring in. As far as staffing and filling, the planning director position is still open online, but they're getting ready to do interviews for that. Jennifer just got the opportunity to go to Missouri Planning Association and had a good experience with that. New building inspector's onboarded, and he's out running around with our other building inspector, learning lots, so you'll see a new face there. Cody Stice is in the room this evening. We're not going to ask him to speak, but you can meet with him afterwards. He's the new customer liaison that was nominated by the Board of Aldermen and a position made, so he's there to help applicants get through the process. Finally, the Parks Campground went to Board of Aldermen and received support, and so they will have one more hearing for that, and hopefully that goes forward. And that's your update for right now. Any questions?
Any questions for Mike? None? Okay. Thank you. Any of the commissioners have any reports they would like to present? Alderperson Denham?
I would like to publicly thank our Planning and Development Department. At the Board of Aldermen meeting, I was very impressed. We had application from a builder, from a developer who was requesting MCHD, is that it? Missouri Community Housing, MHDC, sorry about that. And they did such a thorough job, a vetting job, and a new process is beginning, I believe, but they actually provided us with more information than we ever get for these requests for resolutions. The 2 locations were actually located in multifamily use areas, so it was not going to be an imposition or go against any zoning that was nearby. And the applicant was here to provide information, gave us very thorough information. So I just wanted to thank the planning department for the amazing job that they do. We get so much information, whether it be here at P&Z or at our Board of Aldermen meeting, and it's very appreciated. We can grow together while we're respecting surrounding property areas and just work together to grow Branson to be a better place to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? All right, I have one item that I just wanted to bring up. Reading through the minutes on today's, from the October 4th meeting, I watched the video. I also pulled the minutes and read the minutes. And the amount of time and effort that goes into trying to get those minutes word for word is pretty extreme, in my opinion. I know that the original minutes, when done, was 42 pages, and it was able to be basically brought down to 19. And I just kind of wanted to bring up to the rest of the commission that right now, the way it is set up is our actual planner is the one that is producing these minutes, and my question is that really the best use of her time? Or is there a better opportunity? I know with the Board of Aldermen, it's very much a smaller subsect of minutes whenever that's done. I know that currently all videos and audio are available for the public on the city website. It's my understanding that currently the city does not have a policy in regards to how long those things stay on the website, but I think it's something that we should possibly consider mimicking the Board of Aldermen if at all possible, just to, we pay them, we keep them, we value their positions as being planners and not necessarily taking verbatim minutes on these meetings.
We don't do it for the regular board meeting, and there's no statutory requirement that we do it here. Why don't we have summary minutes like they do and put it on for next month and discuss it and get it taken care of? No, I agree with you. I think it's just a waste.
I think it was brought up in the past that it wasn't enough clarity in our minutes. It was too cut out, and so they were asked to be more detailed.
Maybe our minute person could talk to Lisa, and Lisa could give them a 20-minute course, and everything would be perfect. I mean, if it's good enough for the board, it ought to be good enough for us, particularly when it's all recorded and online on the board if anybody wants it.
Can, Mike, can you look further into that for us, please? Okay. Any other commissioners have any questions, comments, anything else? Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. First by Commissioner, or Vice Chair Groman, second by Commissioner Gore. We need to get a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham? Yes. Commissioner Romine?
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Groman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Gore?
Yes.
8 votes yay, motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 6:45 p.m.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Has anyone ever said nay to that?